Hey everyone, welcome to another MLM Dumpster Fire. Today we're here to watch a Arbonne, and I have covered her before. Her name is Stephanie, and I've covered Stephanie one time alone and the other time with her bestie. This is 45 minutes long. Stephanie is one of those people that doesn't know how to keep it short and to the point. We'll just watch half of it maybe and see what happens. I don't know, maybe I'll make a two-parter depending on how problematic it is and the stuff that she's saying. So we're just gonna get right into it. Don't forget that you can click that like and subscribe button if you'd like to support my channel. That's a nice free way to do that. And as always, big shout out to my channel members. Thank you guys for being here, and let's just get right into this.
Everyone, we are going to do a get ready with me, as well as talk about creating your dream life and how to change your life. I was talking about this briefly on stories yesterday, and I thought it'd be good to go live about it. And so I asked you guys to send me some questions and what you guys were wondering. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about me changing my life, but also like what I believe in how people need and can change their lives also. So first, I'll just start off with, my life didn't always look like that, like this, how it does today. And like, I'm not bragging when I say that on my stories where I'm like, I can't believe my life looks like this right now. I'm actually like just so grateful every single day when I'm like driving Hunter to school and I'm in 45 minutes of heavy traffic. I'm so grateful that I get to do this, that I am driving a car that Arbonne is paying me for. They give me a monthly bonus for, and I'm in this beautiful car that I get to be present to drive Hunter to school, and that I don't have to rush off.
Arbonne pays a certain amount of money that you can use towards your car payments, but Arbonne is not paying for the car themselves. Like, the company is not paying for Stephanie's car. She's paying for the car. The car is in her name. If she loses rank, she loses that money that she's getting that can go in towards the car payments. So very risky to get a car in an MLM. And again, Arbonne is not paying for the car, okay?
To an office, because that was my life before. I used to work a 9 to 5. I worked in government for a very long time. I worked in the political side, and then I worked for the not political side. And then I also worked in mental health and addictions. And so my life really looked like, a Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, pension, corporate benefit type of job, because that is what I grew up believing was like the goal for me. That's always what I wanted, right? Like, my parents instilled that with me, in me when I was really young, because then I'd be taken care of, right? The pension and the benefits. And I never really even thought about the entrepreneurial side until network marketing came into my life, right? Like, I actually just didn't know how I was going to create that for myself. So like, I would always see people living their lives, like in terms that they weren't going to the office every day. I'd see these girls on social media and they'd be at the gym in the middle of the day, or they'd be like grabbing a cute coffee with their friends in the middle of the day, or just kind of like doing what I saw, doing what they wanted. And I was like, okay, so like that's possible. Like, I know it's doable. And not all of these girls have husbands who allow them to be like stay-at-homes, right? Like, some of these girls were single girls doing it, and some of these girls had husbands, but anyways, my point is, this wasn't like, some of these girls were making their own money. And so I was like, hey,
isn't it interesting, the wording that she said? Some of these girls had husbands that allowed them to stay at home. Husbands that allowed them to stay at home. Interesting wording, very interesting.
It's possible to live this life, but like, how do they do it? And I just didn't really know like how I would do it for myself. So in terms of network marketing, that business model, I was never like weird about network marketing. Like, I always believed that the business model worked. I didn't have any like weird icks like some people do. I never really had like a negative experience with it. My experience with network marketing is I saw it build up women specifically, a lot of men in network marketing too.
Sorry, but like, being educated and seeing the data and statistics that prove that majority of people in MLMs never make any profit, it's a bad business opportunity. It's not a weird ick. What a way to say that. I mean, all right.
I was watching women. I saw it build up their life. I saw it change their life. And I saw a lot of women be able to create an income for themselves, like well over 6 figures. And I was like, okay, this is so freaking cool. But like, how do they do it? Like, how do they build a team? How do they get clients, right? And so I always believed that it worked. And I had actually been a part of 3 other network marketing companies before Arbonne. And some of them I didn't really do much with. Like some of them I didn't do anything with. And I didn't ever really find like huge success with the other 3 companies that I was with. And I attribute that to 2 things. Like one, I wasn't willing to go all in, be consistent, dive in on myself and the business. But 2, like I didn't fully, like I love some of the products and I love some aspects of those businesses, but I wasn't like 100% hell yes, this is a full body yes, like I love this company. Until I found Arbonne, and I was like, the more I learned about Arbonne, the more I was like, oh, this is something I can actually stand behind and recommend to people and that I'm proud to represent. And that's really important to me. Like, if you guys know me in person, I am the worst liar ever. Like a bad poker face. I can't fake it. I can't tell you guys that I like something when I actually don't. Like, I'm just not. So like, it was really important to me to like the company and love the products, love the company. So when Arbonne came around, I found it really, really easy to actually talk about this, to talk about the company and to promote it. And I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but this is just my train of thought. So I hope you guys are following with me. But what my life looked like when I started Arbonne was my husband and I had just separated at the beginning of September of 2019. And I started my business at the end of September of 2019. I had done a call with Carla.
Oh, this reminds me in one of the previous videos where she was with her bestie, or she was alone, but she was saying about this part, how she started the Arbonne business. And her bestie, her MLM bestie, she was an Instagram influencer, and Stephanie was talking about getting a divorce. I guess it was really messy. Her husband was probably cheating or whatever. She was doing TikToks talking about her husband and what he was doing. I have not seen those TikToks, but she said she shared about her relationship and separation and how he wasn't the man that she thought he was and things like that. So her bestie, I forgot her name, reached out to Stephanie and said something like, oh, so you're about to be a single mom now. Are you ready to join my business? Are you ready to start this business? Or something like that. It was really, really disgusting in my opinion, how she preyed on her, saw that she was getting a divorce, recruited her into this scam in my opinion. And now they're like besties. But I wonder, like, if one of them decides to leave, they would probably not be friends anymore. It's how it goes usually in the MLM, isn't it?
The month prior, and she told me about Arbonne, and I didn't.
Carly is her name, her bestie's name.
I did not sign up right then and there because I was like, I don't really need to. Like, I was working full time at a mental health and addiction treatment center. I was very busy with that job, you guys. I was the first of, one of the first of 5 people that were hired to open a mental health and addiction treatment center here in Victoria, BC. And it was like my dream job. I loved that job so much, but I was working a lot of hours, like 60 hours a week, right? And yeah, there were some breaks in there too, but I was working at night, like answering the phone, answering emails, getting people in the door, connecting with, psychologists and counselors and people in town. And I loved that, but I was really busy and I was married when Carly and I did the overview. So I was like, I don't really need this. I want this. Like, I would love the extra shopping money, but I was like, it wasn't like I need to do this right now, until my ex and I broke up, we separated, and I was like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm a single mom now. Like, I'm a single mom. I'm not going to get much, if any, money from my ex-husband, because I saw how he treated his first ex-wife. I knew how it was going to go down. So I was like, oh God, FYI, I've never received child support or spousal from my ex-husband ever. Not one bit, ever. So I knew that I was going to have to create more income for myself, because although my salary wasn't like terrible at the mental health and addiction treatment center, it wasn't enough for me to support myself and Hunter. Like, I would have been living paycheck to paycheck or less. And I already was, right? And I already was in debt also, like credit card debt. So I wanted extra income so that I wouldn't have to put myself in more debt, so that I could possibly pay down my debt. And then also that I could have good healthy products, nutrition products, skincare, makeup, and buy Hunter new clothes. Because that was the thing, when I did the calculations, there wasn't even a budget to buy Hunter new clothes. Like, let alone, how am I going to afford a 2-bedroom in Victoria, like when I'm making $1,700 every 2 weeks after taxes and all that? Like, that's like what, $3,400 a month? Like, I was like, how am I gonna do that when my rent's gonna be like $24, and then I have car payment and car insurance and gas and cell phone and daycare costs that I had to pay half for, which was like $450 a month. Like, I was like, I'm not going to be able to live, right? So that's why I started Arbonne. So it's like, hey, if I can just have an extra $200 to $500 a month, I will be happy. And if I can get my products covered, I will be happy. That's literally why I signed up, you guys. And I know I share this a lot, so maybe you guys have heard me say this before, but I think this is really important for you guys to think about and to ask yourselves. I had a conversation with Carly, and so we hopped on the phone, and she said to me, she said, what do you want your life to look like in 5 years? I said, well, okay, so we're talking, this is like October 2019. She asked me this, maybe November. I was like, hey, well, I would love to buy Hunter and I a new home. I would love to buy us a house, not a new home, just a house for us. I would love to not be in debt. I would love to be able to travel and like bring Hunter with me and show him different cultures in the world. I'd love to be able to like buy myself clothes when I wanted, and obviously Hunter too, right? And she's like, okay, so if you keep doing what you're doing right now, right in this moment, will you get there in 5 years? And I was like, no, there's no way. Like, how am I going to be able to buy a house, go traveling, buy new clothes, not be in debt when I'm making $1,700 every 2 weeks? That's not going to happen unless I'm bringing in more income. And she's like, okay, so what does your life look like when you're making $20,000 to $25,000 a month? And that number is the average starting income of a national vice president with Arbonne. And I was like, I don't know. And she's like, okay, well, I want you to think about it. I was like, okay, I'll think about it. And she's like, no, like right now on the phone, I want you to think about it. So I was like, okay. And it made me realize, like, at some point along the way, I stopped dreaming. I stopped dreaming of my life. I stopped dreaming what was possible. I was settling in my life. And it also just made me realize, like, I really hadn't even thought about this. Like, I had never thought about like something more for myself that big, right? Like, cause that was really big for me at the time, $20,000 to $25,000 a month. Okay. What would my life look like? And I was like, okay, well, I would actually be able to buy Hunter and I a home at that point. I wouldn't be in debt. I 1,000% would be able to go on vacations with him and buy us.
Top 1% of the company, the top rank in the company, national vice president. So she said, what did she say? This is the start average paycheck or something for national vice presidents. But if we look at the median annual earnings and even average annual earnings, they don't come up as 20,000 a month. So Stephanie is one of the people that likes to make up her own numbers when she talks about the income disclosure statement, but she always makes up random numbers. I mean, I don't know where the fuck. I think I remember covering her once in the past. She was talking about average earnings and I was comparing it to the income disclosure statement as she was saying it, and it did not match at all. So I don't know, is she just making this up? Did someone told her to make or did someone tell her these false numbers? But it's really easy. If you take a look at the income disclosure statement, you'll see that that's not the starting. That's not even an average monthly paycheck for the top rank, let alone like the beginners, the starting paycheck. That's just ridiculous. But anyway.
New clothes, I'd be able to help my family. I wouldn't have to work my 9 to 5 anymore, and I'd be able to be a present mom for Hunter, which was really important to me because at the time, like, I was dropping him off at daycare at like 7:30, 8 in the morning, and then picking him up at 5:30, and then spending 2 hours a night with him before he went to bed, and then having weekends with him. But now that my marriage was ending, now I was going to share custody, so now I was going to have even less time with him. So I'm like, I wanted to figure out a way, how could I be more of a present mom with him? So if I was making $20,000 to $25,000 a month, I'm like, I could be a present mom because I wouldn't have to be locked down to my 9 to 5. I could be there. So like, to bring it back to the beginning of my life where I said, like, I'm so grateful, even when I'm driving 45 minutes each way in traffic to bring Hunter to school in a different municipality here in Victoria, I'm freaking grateful because I'm present with him. I get to be there. I get to share that car ride. We get to have conversations. It's time spent with just him and I with no distractions. And I love that. So as soon as Carly asked me that question, I started actually telling her those are the things that I could have. It made me realize that like those things are possible for me, but I'm the only one that can make them happen. No one's just going to magically appear in my life and give them to me. There's not going to be someone that just walks in and be like, hey, Steph, I'm going to give you $20,000 a month, right? That's not happening. The only person that was going to make that happen was me. So if you guys are wanting change in your life, the only person that can make that happen is you. No matter how limited you feel right now, no matter how much, like, cause guys, I've been in a situation with my ex too, where it's like, yeah, I 100% could go down the road where I feel like, stifled, like I can't do much because of my ex. I could 100% tell myself that story, but I don't, because I choose a different story to tell myself. Instead of me being a victim to my circumstance, a victim to me being, sharing custody and being a single mom, like I could 100% go down that story, or I could go down the story of like, hey, yeah, I might not like that, but
sure, she makes it sound like it's so easy to like not be a victim or whatever. Like, people have different circumstances in life, and someone who is going through very similar circumstances like you are is not the same type of personality, there's not the same type of character, not the same upbringings, not maybe resilient enough, or like some people handle same or similar situations completely differently. And I feel like she is making people feel bad if they're like a victim of their circumstances. Also, not everyone can afford to join a product-based pyramid scheme after getting a divorce. Like, come on, you've seen in one of my last videos, I looked at some of the prices for Arbonne products, and the ordinary 30 savings of protein powder costs like $94. Like, can you even imagine? That's only one product. So I'm sure there's some people that maybe want to try Arbonne, but they just can't afford to spend that much money on it, especially freshly like single parents. Like, what are you talking about? These ones are so detached.
What's within my control? What can I change? What can I do different? So what I could do different was actually start to build my business. Not only just build my business, and here's where changing your life actually comes into it, because I've just been talking about the income side, doing the personal development, doing the work, doing the healing. So when you start a business, whether it's network marketing or any type of business, right? Like when you're going all in on yourself business-wise, you are...
By the way, I completely forgot, like when you're joining an MLM, you're not actually starting your own business. You are joining as an independent contractor for the MLM. So it's not your business. You're not starting your own business. So the fact that she's going to compare it to actually starting a business maybe is just no.
Going to be met with yourself personal development wise. Like, you're only going to go as high business wise as you are personal development side, because all of those limiting beliefs, those fears, those doubts, all of those are going to come smack you right in the face, where it'll be like, you can't do it. Or even people will tell you, like I had people tell me I was going to fail at network marketing. I had my ex tell me that I was going to be nothing without him. I had people tell me I wasn't going to get the white Mercedes. I had people tell me all those kind of things. So I had a choice in those moments when people were telling me those negative things. Those were their fears and doubts. So my choice was, do I accept their stories and their limitations and their fears as my truth? Or do I figure out my own truth? Because my own truth was, I was like, okay, watch me. Like, I'm going to go make this happen. You might doubt me, but I don't doubt myself. Because I'm going to go all in, and I'm going to do this no matter how long it takes me. I'm going to listen to the podcast. I'm going to go to counseling. I'm going to read all the books. I'm going to journal in the morning. I'm going to start meditating. I'm going to be healthy and work out and try and eat healthy foods. I am going to go all in on myself so that I can show up as the best version of myself. Who can control that? You. Only you. No one could come into my life and force me to read the book or listen to the podcast or go to the gym or go for nature walks or show up for my business every day. Nobody could show up in my life and make me do that. Just like nobody can show up in your life and make you start showing up, or make you start eating healthy foods, or make you move your body, or you listen to the podcast. You are the one that has the choice and control to do that all. So really, you're the answer you've been looking for, and you always have been the answer you're looking for. But most people are terrified to actually meet themselves right in the mirror and to actually look at, their flaws or their fears or their doubts. And they're also scared to look at the stories that they've been telling themselves, because it's all a game, you guys. Life is a game, right? Like, it's all about the stories that we tell ourselves. Because like I said earlier, I could easily have gone down the route when my marriage was ending, like, oh my God, I'm a broke single mom. I guess this is just what life is now. I'm not going to get child support. I'm going to live paycheck to paycheck. We should probably, move into housing and all that kind of stuff. I easily could have just accepted that story, because that's a stereotype type story. I could have accepted that story as my truth. right? But instead I was like, that's not going to be my story. I don't want that to be my story, and I refuse to let that be my story. And even if I am broke for a little while, that doesn't matter, because I know that I'll be doing everything in my power to make my life better for myself and Hunter. And so I had full confidence in myself that I was going to do it. Okay. And I think that's where it comes in. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to make it happen. I failed forward. I showed up imperfect. I listened to lots of podcasts. Some of them were terrible. Some of them were so awesome. And some of them it felt like I was like in a counseling session, but it was like a free podcast. And then I started listening to books. I listened to network marketing books. I listened to personal development books. I listened to spiritual books. I listened to all.
You're not successful in Arbonne because you listen to these podcasts though. Like, what are we talking about? I think what happened with Stephanie is that she was talking about her ex on TikTok. She was like exposing her ex on TikTok and sharing what had happened to her, and I think she got a bunch of followers because she was sharing these type of things. This kind of content is popular on social media, especially on TikTok, especially was for a while. I don't know what's popular on TikTok anymore, but I know it was back in the day. I think she got some following from that, and then she joined Arbonne, and that's why she had a bigger audience than an average person that she could recruit into her Arbonne business. I'm pretty sure that's what happened, but whatever, Stephanie.
All different types of things so that I could become more educated. Because here's another thing. As we get older, so many people stop learning. They're like, oh, I'm done high school, I'm done college, I'm done university. Learning's done. And then they go get the job and they stay stagnant. They don't grow, they don't learn. I was like, oh my God. Okay, what are the successful people doing? Successful people are reading. Successful people are learning. Whether it's, audiobooks, podcasts, or actually reading. They also care about who they're hanging out with and who's in their circle, because you become like the 5 people you're spending the most time with. And I know you guys have probably all heard that quote before, but it is 1,000% true. If you're hanging out with people that don't have goals, who are all drinking every weekend, smoking every weekend, vaping, who gossip, you're going to become the next person that does all those kind of things. Alternatively, if you're going to hang out with people that are building businesses, that have big goals and dreams, that aren't gossiping.
So if my friend is vaping and I hang out with her, I'm just going to start vaping. And that's like the worst thing that can happen to me. Oh, how dare my loser friend vape, am I right? That's just ridiculous. Does she hear herself?
That they're talking about like how to grow, how to do investments, how to build wealth, how to be happy in life, how to connect to God and their spirituality. You'll become the next one doing that. So it really depends. Like, it really actually does matter who you're surrounding yourself with. And it doesn't mean that like I cut a ton of people out of my life, but I started to be really aware of how I felt after I hung out with certain people. I'm going to continue doing my makeup too. So I want you to pay attention to when you hang out with certain people. Does your cup feel filled? Or do you feel kind of like drained and empty? Because there's certain people that I hang out with that I feel, I'm like, why did I go hang out with them? Like, it's not that I feel like shit, but like I feel like drained. I feel tired. And I'm like, what was the point? Like, I would have rather kind of just been by myself. And that's one thing I'm really proud of my journey is like, I used to hate being by myself. I hated spending time by myself. And now I love it. Like, now I struggle actually going out, and I've been such a hermit. So now I'm like doing the opposite, where I'm actually trying to leave my house more because I've been a hermit for the last like 2 years. Anyways, this is I just ranted for a little bit, but someone asked, so I have all the questions right here. That's why I'm looking down. How did I heal? Like, what are the healing steps? And people talk all the time about healing, but never about the steps of how to actually heal. And they talk about the deep work. So I've been thinking about that yesterday since that question came in, and I'm like, I truly think that healing is different for everybody and what those steps.
Okay, this is just a Q&A. I mean, it's getting very dark outside, and I'm just gonna, I think we heard enough from Stephanie for this one. I don't think she's gonna talk too much about the business opportunity later on in this Q&A, but I mean, she said a few lies there, like the Arbonne paying for the car. That is absolutely not true, and I feel like people follow her and look up to her because she had this terrible experience with her ex, and she healed, and now she's like this successful single mom, whatever. And obviously a lot of people out there look up to that, but the fact is, like, she talks about these things like healing. Not everything that she said was terrible and whatnot, but like at the end of the day, she is one of the top reps in Arbonne, which in my opinion is a product-based pyramid scheme. All the people that watch her for whatever reason that get recruited into her team are never gonna make any money. They might make money, but they're not gonna profit from doing this Arbonne business unless they also have a big following on social media, which they can recruit and grow their team and become successful. But otherwise, she's just recruiting her followers. She's making money off of their work. They're not making any profit because it's a scam, in my opinion. Again, but I'm gonna link the Arbonne income disclosure statement down below and some FTC articles that you can read. Please do your research, and yeah, it's just BS in my opinion. You guys can let me know down below what you thought about this. I'm just gonna wrap that one up here. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget that you can support my channel in a nice free way by liking and subscribing. And as always, big shout out to my channel members. Thank you guys for being here. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.